Are you confused by which core exercises to do? There are so many options and so much misinformation about core training. And so today I would love to talk to you about the concepts of core training. What are the things that are really important for you to be able to optimize performance, but also prevent injury? Hi, my name is Dr. Ariane Mismer. I'm a functional medicine practitioner, doctor of physical therapy, registered dietitian, and owner of the Movement Paradigm Integrative Health Center. And I am super excited to talk to you about the core because it has been one of my passions since I can remember, since I started my career. And the reason I love it so much is because it is all based on the breath. And you have heard me in so many of my videos talk about this, but I want to talk to you about how to perform these exercises based on your breath being the fundamental aspect of success. So when we are breathing, that means one, we are in a safe state, which means we are able to stabilize. When I say breathing, we need to have a pattern of a diaphragmatic breath. What does that look like? Tongue at the roof of the mouth. Tongue is touching the top teeth very, very lightly. Teeth are a little bit apart, and you're breathing in through the nose. I always like to think about breathing up versus straight back. And as you do that, your abdomen is expanding 360 degrees. So that means the side, the front, the back. You're filling up with intra-abdominal pressure. And as you exhale, you are contracting. The abdominals are contracting. So in order for your core, which I'll talk about in a moment, to operate as efficiently as possible, we need to have breath be the number one factor. And this is the thing that is missed so often. People will hold planks for 2 minutes and 3 minutes, hardly breathing. They're doing sit-ups and crunches and not breathing. So again, this is really the critical aspect of it. Now, when we think about proper breathing, to dive in a little bit deeper, as you breathe in, think that your diaphragm is flattening. You're creating this intra-abdominal pressure that's building up. There's a muscle called the transverse abdominis, which think of this as our weight belt. When you are inhaling, it's actually lengthening. Okay? When you are inhaling, your pelvic floor is relaxing. When you exhale, the pelvic floor lifts, that natural weight belt contracts, so it shortens, the pressure decreases, and the diaphragm goes back to its beautiful resting dome shape. So it is a beautiful sequence of, pelvic diaphragm and respiratory diaphragm working in conjunction with things like your psoas and your multifidus, which is a muscle around the spine, your deep hip stabilizers, all working together. So we're going to go through some exercises so that you can again understand the concept of how all of this fits together. For the breathing with punch, you're going to bring your knees up to a 90-degree angle. You're going to connect your rib cage and your spine towards the floor. From this position, you can find your breath. So nice breath in, getting that expansion. And then when you're ready, you're going to grab a light weight. And so what you want to think of is maintaining this position. Take your breath in. Exhaling as you punch up, this is going to engage the serratus. And from here, this connects very nicely to the diaphragm. So you're going to feel a lot of tension and a lot of nice integration of the core and upper body. To perform the kneeling side plank, you're going to start by taking a breath in, exhaling, connecting your rib cage over your pelvis. And then from here, you're going to exhale as you come into a bridge position, meaning you're going to come into full hip extension. And as you go back down, you're hinging down, almost as if you were doing a bridge. The key to this exercise is maintaining the rib cage over the pelvis throughout the entire motion. So even when you come down here, in that nice pause, not necessarily a rest, you want to think about keeping that connection. So exhale, connect, which allows the ribs to come down. Exhale, coming all the way up into full hip extension. And as you look at the shoulder position, you want to think about creating tension underneath of the shoulder, connecting your shoulder to your hip. So that way you're always in a good position there, maintaining adequate shoulder and core stability throughout the exercise. For the plank with your hands, you're going to bring your hands slightly out in front in a little bit of a hollow position. So you do, again, want to find that stack of ribcage over pelvis. And then from here, using your breath as your repetition. So your feet are together, pelvis is slightly tucked. and inhaling, fully expanding, exhaling, contracting. To perform the hollow plank, you'll have your knees behind your hip and elbows under your shoulder. From here, you'll tuck your pelvis, keeping your knees together and your feet gently pointed, and using your breath as your repetition. So inhaling, allowing the abdomen to expand, and exhaling, allowing the abdomen to contract. Repeating this for a certain number of repetitions, i.e. your breath. So hopefully you can see with all of the exercises that when you're performing it, you want to think of your rib cage being positioned over top of the pelvis. This is going to allow that communication of the respiratory diaphragm with the pelvic diaphragm. Breathing is the foundation of every movement pattern, and you are focusing on quality of motion, slow, intentional movement. This can start to help build the sequencing and coordination and timing of how all of these muscles work together. Once you understand these concepts, then you could begin using the step-by-step hollow as an example. You can begin to develop more tension and train into bigger, better movement patterns. We can start to train for more rotational power. We can start to train the abdominal wall. We can start to really begin to create full body tension with the core being that center point. But you can only do that with a strong foundation. So I hope this was helpful. If it was, make sure you give it a like, give it a share. And of course, subscribe to our YouTube channel for weekly tips on mindset, nutrition, movement. And feel free to join our app. We would love to have you part of our community. We do monthly challenges on all different areas of health. And we're really trying to bring whole body wellness to everyone. And if you need individual help, please reach out for a discovery session. My team and I would love to help you on your journey. Thanks as always.